Hello, good afternoon, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Daily Live. The Daily Live. Manchester United next up for Everton. An opportunity to do the double over them. The first time in 12 years it'd be.
It would be.
Generally, because we don't really beat them, but we certainly don't beat them at Old Trafford. But we have done that this year, and last time we did that, we then went and beat them 2-0, didn't we? At home, Lukaku and
McCarthy.
Naismith, was it? Or was it
McCarthy.
Was it McCarthy? Yeah.
Didn't McCarthy score after like 2 minutes?
Maybe he did. A little side footer will have been in the team. But we beat them, didn't we? We beat them then. So can we do it this time?
Moyes and the Al Grim Reaper.
Moyes and the Grim Reaper, and then he went the next day, didn't he? But is this an opportunity for Everton to put a couple of things to bed? Not an opportunity, because we lost the last Premier League game, so there's none of that. Oh, we can build on stuff.
Yeah.
That's gone, isn't it? The building on stuff is gone.
Building on stuff.
Until they actually win 3 or 4 games on the run. You know, and then that fella, we need a fan like that, United fan. Maybe we should have one who's not cutting his hair till we win a home game.
Yeah.
That might work either. No.
Yeah.
Maybe not do anything like that. But what do you think then? What do you think? Monday? Because if Everton were to beat United, because they are playing much better than they have done for a while, but I've seen them a few times, they're still just the same Manchester United. They've just been a bit better lately. So therefore, I don't think there's anything to fear from them. But a victory against a club like United and at home, do you think that'd almost reset us to picking points up again, or is it not going to be like?
There has to be. We're playing big teams at home now, aren't we? So there has to be a mentality shift. There has to be a mentality shift from everyone, I think, as how we approach these games. I think what Man United have become is they've become more functional, haven't they? They've just become more functional. They're getting the better players doing what they're supposed to do. Cunha and
Morales and Baines, it was. Baines' penalty.
I just, those games.
Wasn't it that one where we slide Morales and he takes a touch and whips it back across him into the corner?
It was actually...
And a Baines penalty.
We beat them.
And then we beat Arsenal 3-0 the week later.
Yeah. McCarthy, I think, scored the year before. The year after, I think we beat them 3-0. United or something like that. We have to sort of change the mentality, I suppose, because I suppose the games we've played recently, the games that we've expected to win, and I don't think anyone really, we're expected to win this game, as much. So it's going to be tough. But I think what got showed at United's last game at West Ham was you can frustrate them if you make it tough for them. Then, which is playing an away game at home, basically. Then that's our best opportunity, isn't it, to win? And that'll be how we'll approach the City game and the Chelsea game and the Liverpool game. So, we showed that against Arsenal, I suppose, as well. We just didn't have the quality that night to do anything good the other end. But it's definitely. I think it's definitely a different game, and it's probably better that we're coming in the game as not a game that was going to be seen to win, and everyone's got maybe lower expectations. I think that might be the worst thing in the world, because I'll be honest, I don't expect us to win, because I just think we're fucking dreadful at home, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy now, isn't it? It'll only change when it changes. Very much like the away stuff did. You start getting a few, and then it's like everyone's up for it. Then in away games, everyone's up for it, and there's confidence, and then that feeds into that team as well. You're playing, and they're worried because they're having a good side away, and we've got to make sure that we don't do anything stupid early on in this game, and we keep it nice and tight.
Sam McGuinness says that's all at Wolves at home doesn't look too bad now. Going back again. I mean, they have had. Since Rob Edwards sort of got them doing what he wants them to do, the results haven't really been that bad. I mean,
no, they
were beaten late on, weren't they?
They're not great, but now they're organised. Not great. I'm paraphrasing. Now they're all, and they've got. And actually, what's good about Wolves is because they give a couple of kids a chance. The kids have really shone, and they'll be excellent to buy in the summer.
Yeah, they will. They lost at Arsenal late on, didn't they?
Yeah.
Liverpool, think he kicked one off the line in injury time, Conor Bradley, to stop them getting a draw around. They drew at Old Trafford. They drew with us.
They've got nothing to play. They've got nothing to lose. They've done that thing of like, which is mad. You always find this is like, it's like, I don't know whether Burnley decided to do that at Palace last week. It's like, we've got nothing to lose now, so we're gone. So we're just going to start playing. It's like, well, why can't football teams just play like that from day one?
Yeah. And it mightn't be as cut and dried as what it is. But yeah, just back to United. It's not a game I expect Everton to win, but I think we can win it. I look at it and I go, they don't scare me in the slightest. They don't. Not many do, to be honest. City still are the ones that do more than any other team. Simply because, not because I look at them and think they're incredible. They are they're tops, of course. They are a great side, but they just, to me, don't seem to get flustered too often, City. And I think for Everton to get results against the bigger teams, you have to bring them into moments. Or certainly that's what we did at Goodison, like Liverpool. You know, we ended up only losing 2 of the last something like 12, 14 derbies at home, because we were able to get in the Reds at home and we were able to create that hostility, and it dragged really poor Everton sides to results against them. And we've done it with Arsenal for years. I know they ended up winning this year, but in general, I think they'd won 2 of 8 at Goodison. You know, they've been a team that's been there playing at the top for the last 5 or 6 years. This year we were robbed. We should have had a penalty. We might have equalised and then they might have won it, but we had the penalty that we should have had, not given. Chelsea are a bit up and down with it, our results, but even our results against them haven't been too bad at home. If you go back and look at them, we haven't lost that many. So it's how quickly can we get Hill Dickinson?
I was going to say,
similar.
It's the way to look at it is though you reel off all these results and we're not playing it. We're not playing it. Home, are we? That's the point, isn't it?
But then me and you have said over the last 3 years at Goodison.
No.
Our home records.
No. I'm not. I just don't mean that. What I mean by that is just like we're not. When you say we're at home, we're not at home, are we? We're not. All these results were played at a different place. It's not home. It doesn't feel like home for a lot of people, and it won't be home for a while. And it certainly doesn't feel like Goodison Park to the away teams and to the away fans. The away fans aren't, in a horrible corner, with terrible facilities. They're in really nice facilities, and as much as some of them might want to moan about like the toilets or it's not Goodison, is it? The seats are not Goodison. They've got a really nice corner. They've got safe standing. It's really nice. The away dressing room is a million times better than the one at Goodison. So they're not playing at Goodison Park. That's the fact. There is that they come. And when we talk about how nice our stadium is, and we've made it really nice for the opposition as well. And that's a problem. Maybe we need to just go and, I don't know,
take some of the
defecate on the floor and rub it on the walls or something. No. I don't know what we do. But it is really nice, and we have to get round that. And maybe these are the games now where we do get round that. And do you know what? Right? If we finish the season with good results at home against big sides, the season will finish with people having a really positive attitude towards the ground, because we will have turned it round. Because let's be honest, right? If the atmosphere for these next few games at home is really bad, then what chance have we got? Do you know what I mean? United, certainly the Merseyside derby. I don't know what Chelsea will be like. It's 5:30 on a Saturday, but that's a great opportunity for people to go and have a bevy and get themselves going ahead of the game. No, but it is though, isn't that what great? I mean, when people talk about the away games, it always makes me laugh. It's because everyone's pissed. That's what it is, isn't it? Generally, it's because everyone's had a bevy. All right, they might not be they're not bladdered, but they've all had a bevy, so they're all chilled out and they're all singing and all. That's the difference in home games and away games. When people try and break it down to some kind of science, there is no science. People have been for a bevy, and that's it, isn't it? And it's a day out when you go to an away game. When you go to a home game, the way we've had them recently is you feel like people are getting dragged from work. They're getting dragged from work, and it doesn't feel like it feels like rushing round. And when you get there, you're like, and people. I seen a thing yesterday. It was from the national newspaper, and it was a report saying home fans everywhere have never been angrier when they watch their teams.
In every
ground. So there's this idea that it's just us. It's not just us.
No.
And it's simply because in my opinion, because the kick-off times, we seen yesterday, it's over a year since Villa have had a 3 o'clock Saturday game.
At home.
At home. Right. And then you hear, oh, well, that's the price you pay for playing in Europe. No, it shouldn't be. Like, first of all, get rid of Monday Night Football. Just get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Do the Friday. I'd rather it be Friday Night Football.
It's not the weekend. It's not the weekend. It's in the week. So get rid of that. And yeah, do more Friday games if you have to, like they're doing. Like Germany, which is the most fan conscious country in the world for football, has a Friday night game because they binned the Monday night game because all the fans got together and said, we're not doing this anymore. But they'll have Friday nights because as far as they're concerned, Friday night is part of the weekend. So they're happy with that. And we have to, because of Europe, and again, I don't mind the Champions League format, but I think like what happened last night with Newcastle shows how much almost of a farce it is, though. Going away to, win 6-1 and the opposition looked like, we'd beat them.
Yeah.
And we're now, the game is now catering for the Champions League, essentially, to stop the Super League. But that doesn't mean we have to have Monday night games, and those Monday night games are dominated by clubs like us who aren't in Europe, but they know we'll have the most fans to watch. Take Monday night binny, and let's work out a more friendly calendar over the weekend. And again, this plays into the larger part of things that we've talked about, which is having an app, one place to watch the game.
You should have a nap.
No, not a nap.
Yeah, a lot do have a nap.
Yeah, So this plays into that though, doesn't it? Where you don't need to have games all over the place because every game's on an app. And let's get back to fans going the game, actually enjoying going to the game because the kickoff times are more suitable for everybody. And maybe that will bring down anger levels. So this idea that it's just Everton fans is again, it's one of those things that when you live in a bubble, Everton Twitter or Everton social media, it's rife everywhere. People are really unhappy with football at the moment. They really are. And they go to the match and it's like everything that happens, they're on players' backs. And it's as I said, it's not just us, it's happening everywhere. And we need to get to the bottom of it. But people are just... Don't wait for football to solve the problem because they're not asked. They're not asked. No. They'll have Monday Night Football if 12 people are watching it. They don't care. They don't care. It's part of it's not like it's a pay-per-view. It's part of a package. They're not bothered. Gives them an opportunity to show what happened to all the perceived big teams.
They could still have a Monday night show. Yeah. Couldn't they? That'd actually be better because they could dig deeper into everything that went on over the weekend without having to break for a game that... People get a cob on with because they don't really talk about it. It's almost like a side issue unless it's Liverpool or it's United. Everything else is a side issue. Just have the thing. Change it to Sunday night at 8 o'clock then. If you must. I mean, I wouldn't want that either, but I'm saying, but keep the Monday night away. Just get rid of it. Someone said he wouldn't sack Carragher, and they don't need to sack
I don't think I wouldn't have any 8 o'clock games.
I wouldn't.
Because I just think that plays in again to the larger narrative of that stops kids going to games and things like that. And I'd have on a Saturday 1, 3 and 5, all of them televised, and then on a Sunday 1, 3 and 5, all of them televised. If you're going to do it, because that way it's fairer. It's fairer. You don't, and each game can have its own little thing, and then you move on to the next game. You've got 2 hours to show the game. That should be enough. If there's any crossover, there's crossover.
But they can still do the Monday night stuff, can't they?
Yeah.
They just don't need a live game. Wrapped around a live game.
No, it's not needed.
And if you really want to create Monday night football, still put a big championship game on there.
It's not needed.
But it's not really needed. I still think a lot of people would like analysis, don't they? They like numbers, they like analysis. So if you had Carragher and Neville, if that's who it is, I don't know, doing the 2 hour slot with Dave, is it David Jones? He's a good presenter. Yeah. If you had that as the show and they analyse things from each game and a topic to talk about, people would still watch it.
Yeah, of course they would.
You could still get into it.
People are big into that. People are big into that. And if you, in fact, like you just said, if you actually dedicated more time to each game and actually dedicated more time to going into the finite details of why something happened, then I'd happily skip the Burnley versus Sunderland game. Thank you very much. Or
I'd happily skip Everton.
Exactly.
Whenever, because who really wants to watch us?
And I just think, so I think, like this, as I said, this whole thing of like, this thing of being thinking it's just us again, that's again just living in our bubble, which we do, and we all do it, but it's everywhere. Football, social media is any football club. There's it's horrendous. Imagine being an Arsenal social media now. You know, or Liverpool's this season. We've all seen the videos after the game. You know, of some of the stuff. It's everywhere, because the thing about it is now is I think me and James and Jacob were talking about this last week. I think we were talking about or early on. It's like, what were the differences? Oh, we know what we're talking about. We're talking about Kanchelskis signing for Everton.
Oh yeah,
and we talking about like how for it felt like weeks. I don't know how long it was. It might have only been a couple of weeks. But for a couple of weeks, we were all in the absolute dark of what was going on in that transfer. And he ended up missing the European signing on window, didn't he? So he couldn't play in the Winners' Cup. And I was saying, I had to go to my dad's car to switch on Radio Merseyside at R5 to listen, just to see if there was an update, or the back of the Echo to see if there was an update. I said, but now we live in this 24 hours sports news, football news spiral where it's like boof, boof, boof. And they wonder why fans get upset.
Like Fan Plaza when we've been beaten.
Yeah. No, but they wonder why. They wonder why why fans walk into the ground already feeling so much pressure on them. And they wonder why football now is 30 games for 16, or maybe not 16, but 13 teams now in the Premier League. For 30 games of the season, it's just about trying to get away from the relegation zone. Because the idea of being relegated and what that brings are too ridiculously high to even contemplate. You know, look at Leicester City. Leicester City bet it all, looking at it now. But when they were given those players contracts, they weren't thinking about being relegated. No. They weren't thinking about what happens. And now there's a good chance they're going to be in League One next season. They're in the relegation zone. And that's how quickly it can happen. You try and sign these players on loan. Seen it last couple of weeks. Seen a couple of articles about Brighton and about Bournemouth and how big the contracts they're having to give their players now, and they're falling.
Failing closer.
They are going very close to PSR now, because to keep their players happy, they're having to give them big contracts. Liverpool having to give they are giving their players. We seen last summer Van Dijk and Salah, because it keeps everyone happy. But something we talked about yesterday, it keeps the sponsors happy. It keeps all that going. The global thing of like, we've got Van Dijk and we've got Salah. It doesn't matter if they're 35 and they're coming towards the end. We've got to give them massive contracts for 3 years. And we're all getting closer and closer and closer. And who pays for it? Well, we pay for it. We pay through for our tickets. So, you know, Mike Cosgrove last week wanted to sign Sellers' ticket. He's got a game of paddle, of course. He has. He's playing Benji, Tony Bellew and Paddy the Baddy, I imagine. And, you know, he doesn't want to go. He sticks his ticket up for sale. And it doesn't sell because Everton had an extra £35 to the ticket that he wants to sell for 35. And it's like, and you wonder why people are carrying so much anger at the moment towards football. People hate VAR. People hate, as you just said, DJs playing sets. They hate light shows before games. They hate all this stuff. Siren. They just want what they like, which is to go to games, Z cars getting played, Spirit of the Blues and a bit of Forever Everton played correctly at all of the right times and left on. And that's
and then an announcer that can announce the team and plays it on a screen. And only there was a big way to get it.
And
right.
Honestly though, that's all. That's genuinely all we want, isn't it? We just all want to go to the game and know that we're getting value for money. All the players are giving everything, and this is happening everywhere, happening absolutely everywhere in football. And actually, that's why when you look at the Wolves fans last night, and you see those young lads, didn't he come on and he didn't get the goal because it was on goal, wasn't it? But he shot, and it's like actually what they've seen since this manager come in is actually a bit of heart, and they're enjoying. They know they're going down. But they're enjoying it, and they're like, well, do you know what? We know we're going, but we'll come straight back.
We walked home, obviously walking along Regent Road, and there was about 15 Wolves fans walking with us, sort of like just walking here, just thinking about going to Wrexham and everywhere next season, and they were just like, they didn't give a fuck.
They've
just gone.
They've made peace, haven't they, with their fate? They've made peace with their fate,
and they're
haven't they?
seeing the likes of that Mane, who's come in the team. You know, Rob Edwards just give him a go, and he's been brilliant for them. And you're right, they're looking at younger players and going, you know, Strand Larsen, doesn't want to say sell him. Get rid of him. Because we'll have lads who do want to stay and do want to battle and scrap for us. And that was it. That was what it's about, isn't it?
But people are slowly, and Everton have got to be very, very careful as a football club, because we've got a really good opportunity, actually. But the test is coming with the season ticket prices. Everton have got a really good opportunity to go, do you know what? We have learned the lessons from so far this season. We understand that people don't like the membership system. We understand that actually we shouldn't be putting the season ticket prices up. We understand that actually people might want to move seats, and Everton should get there first and go, because the FAB, I think, have already put like a recommendation in that the season ticket shouldn't go up, and that's not just based on the fact of like when no one wants to pay more. It's based on all the realistic stuff that's out there. And Everton do have a real good opportunity to now to go, do you know what, we're gonna fix the situation, or at least we're gonna sit down and get to the bottom of why people aren't enjoying going the match as much. And obviously one of them is playing on Monday nights, or playing on Tuesday nights, or playing on Wednesday nights. Because when was the last time we played? The last time we played a Saturday game was the Arsenal game, wasn't it? On a home. Apart from Sunderland.
That was a Saturday night.
Exactly. Well, that was a Saturday night. I was going to say it's 8 o'clock, and loads of people didn't get home till after 11 o'clock.
Last time we played, 3 o'clock was Forest. We won.
Yeah.
We've won against, you know, the earlier games. We've won, haven't we? Brighton, Palace, Forest, Fulham. All of those victories come in normally. I mean, Brighton was 2 o'clock and Palace was 2 o'clock, but normal-ish time for people to go.
People understand Tuesday nights. And Wednesday nights, they've always been part of the football calendar, of course.
Someone said before, they're right, I can't remember who it was now, said the night games used to be an occasion because there wasn't many of them.
But there's more now, obviously, because of the Champions League and because the Champions League and because of the FA. So the FA Cup's been given its own sort of window, and you can't, because like people were saying last week, it's like Everton and Bournemouth, why couldn't that have been on Saturday? Why couldn't that have just been on Saturday? But it takes away the magic of the cup. No, it doesn't. No, it takes away the magic of the cup. Sticking it on TNT with its 87 games on at once. That's what ruins the magic.
And there's only 111 subscribers to TNT.
Yeah. And that's what ruins the magic of the cup. The fact that people go, I haven't got TNT.
Why wasn't West Ham on ITV or BBC One?
Do you know why it wasn't on?
I don't know.
No, but I'll tell you why. Because I'm genuinely positive of this. Is that ITV and BBC only want teams, 2 Premier League teams. And know why though? Genuinely, I think they do it because that means they now have got footage of Premier League teams, so they can show. So when they've got England games, they can show a player playing for their club, because otherwise they wouldn't. But you're right. Why is it always 2 Premier League teams rather than something that could be a giant killing? You know, and we've got to be very careful. And you're right. So we're playing more Tuesday night games, more Wednesday night games, kicking off at 7:30. But why is it kicking off at 7:30? Well, actually, the big game's kicking off at 8:15. Why? What does that mean? Like, so you're saying that people switch on a live game at 7:30, watch that live game, even though that's seen as the crap one, watch it all the way through, and then watch the second half of the big game? So does that genuinely happen? Because I've never done that once, whether it be on Amazon.
Some will, but
whether it's been on Amazon or whether it's been on TNT, I've never done that. And I don't understand that mentality. If you've got a game that's on and there's another game on, then just put them on. Everton should go, no, it's 7:45, because we need to be able to believe we can get everyone into the game safely and fed and in a good mood, because 7:30 games with moving stadium have become ridiculous because people are leaving the city as people are coming into the city. This all needs to be sorted out, but the people who have to start it with the real power are the football clubs. And if they're not willing to stand up for their fans at some point, instead of just shrugging their shoulders going, oh, there's nothing we can do about it, then how's it ever going to happen? Unless fans actually do what they did for like the away tickets and get together and go, we don't want this anymore. But it doesn't really seem to be, again, much of an appetite for that. There's say this every year, there's no appetite when the FA Cup turns around and people start complaining about kickoff times and train times again, or ticket prices. Every year it happens. And it's a different set of fans nothing ever happens. Why? Because football fans can't seem to join together.
No, they don't want it. I mean, Mark says we were one of the clubs who pushed for the Prem and the deal with Sky, so a bit hypocritical for the club to complain. That was 1992, 93, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a different world now.
We were pushing for it in 88.
Yeah, it's a totally different world.
Also, by the way, if you're old enough and you understand, in 1988, go and find some footage of Everton winning the league in 87. When there was blackouts, when they didn't have a TV deal.
86 was the way, 85, 86. They literally had a blackout from early September till January. So we had Lineker, the greatest striker, around at the time. And there's hardly any footage of him scoring goals because they had a dispute with
the reason why the Premier League started was because the football clubs had no power and TV deals were getting done or weren't getting done, and no games were getting shown, and football clubs weren't getting any money, and they decided, actually, we hold the power here, and they decided we want a league where we hold the power rather than the FA and the old fuddy-duddies and the Football League, and that's why the Premier League started. But when the Premier League started, it was a game on a Sunday night, and it was a game on a Monday, and that was it. There wasn't two games on a Sunday, there was one game on a Sunday at 4 o'clock, and there was a Monday night game, and that was it. And then it's slowly, obviously, gone into what we've got now, which is, don't get me wrong, there's no issue with all the games being televised, but the way they're being televised, as in all over the place because of the stupid blackout on at 3 o'clock, is nonsense. Every game should be televised. This idea that we can't watch our team play away is absolute nonsense. But it should be done in a structured way of an app, which we all pay monthly for, and we all get to watch the game at a reasonable time. So you don't have to go, there's a game there, game there, game there, game there, game there, game there. You know, that's not how it works now. It's supposed to be like...
I'm with you, but I think it's a dead important discussion for fans, because I don't know if Everton are complaining about it, but we're the fans. It's our game. They play it, and they're lucky enough to be part of it. You know, everyone who's employed at Everton is lucky enough to be employed in football. It's a sport, right? Every player who plays for Everton are lucky. They're playing for one of the English institutions, a huge football club, getting paid incredible amounts of money. Forget the small career nonsense. Just put that in the bin, because one season of being a Premier League footballer is more than most people earn in a lifetime. So put that in the bin right now. Oh, it's a short career, you know, and all of this. Bollocks. Go and work 40 hours a week for them wages and do it every day for 40 years and then have a state pension. So put that in the bin immediately. They are hugely privileged individuals. They've worked hard and they're talented, don't get me wrong. They are. But they're paid ridiculous amounts of money for what they do. Same as actors and things like that, but there's a talent and there's a level, right? The difference between actors and that is that you're generally getting a perfect performance every time you watch something. It's just whether or not you like that thing. So they're hugely privileged, but fans are the real lifeblood of football. We saw it in COVID. We saw it at that time when there was no fans. It was rubbish. Yeah. It was training games. It was the most uninteresting thing ever. It mattered at first. It was like when it came back, it was a novelty. I remember watching the first few Bundesliga games because they come back and it was like, oh, footy's back on. And they had these like cutouts of fans and it was really good. And then after a bit, you were like, this is crap. The Premier League was dreadful. We watched Everton games, but it was absolutely dreadful because there was no supporters and it was all, you know, transfer fees are going to come down. Clubs are they've realised, they've had their eyes open, it's going to be all more responsible. And then clubs like Liverpool just went and blew it out the water, spending whatever they do. Arsenal asking for a £150 million loan, the same as Spurs, while furloughing people and paying people 500 grand a week or whatever it was. It's all bollocks. And they get greedier and greedier and greedier every year, the clubs. So it's important that when we're consistently asked to pay more money, that we get a service that we feel at least gets close to it. Won't justify it. 70 quid to go and watch Everton is unjustifiable in my opinion. It really is.
Absolutely.
In this city, in this part of the world. It's unjustifiable. Right? But at least give us better. Make your things easier for us. stop driving fans away. Don't cry ass if there's empty seats in a stadium because people can't get. I've always had this argument with people about Man City, always, and people have a go at City.
Yeah, I have.
Manchester City are very similar to sort of were for years and years, very similar to Everton. There's the working class football club in Manchester. They got in the League One, they were getting 30,000 fans, right? Liverpool wouldn't get 30,000 in League One, trust me. They were getting them fans. And okay, things have changed, but people are working. They've got a season ticket. They might be able to get there for all of these stupid times. Or there's Champions League games, and City do very well and get to finals. They're the only team that's still involved in all 4 competitions, by the way, and might win all 4. And no one's even mentioned them. People talk about
Arsenal.
City. Sorry, and Arsenal. Yeah, but
Yeah.
But sorry, them and Arsenal. Apologies, but people have mentioned Arsenal. People don't talk about City.
No,
City are almost like they're just under the radar, which they might like. So therefore, their fans might be able to afford to go.
Yeah, you got to
every
ask
game.
You got to ask yourself that question, haven't you? If Everton were involved in all 4 competitions now, could you afford to go to?
If it was every year.
No, I'm saying no.
Could you? Do it the first
could you
year.
afford to go to every single game? If Everton got to 4 finals, could you? Or sorry, 3 finals. Could you afford to go to all those games? Could you afford to go semi-final? Could you afford to go to Europe? Could you afford to go? People got to ask themselves that question.
And especially if we done it over 3, 4,
exactly,
5 years.
Like,
not one year.
I understand people. Oh yeah, that'd be. But the reality is, at some point, something's got to give. And City fans now, the ones who have been there all that time, they're starting to throw their hand in because they're saying, well, we're getting treated like second-class citizens now, and yet we're the ones who have been here. You know, they've already had to see people move seats the last time they've done a redevelopment. Now people are getting moved this time for a redevelopment, so they can have the cosy seats and all that. And some clubs suit it and some clubs don't. I don't believe our club does suit it. I really don't. I don't believe our club.
I don't think it will until Everton.
No, but I'm saying I just don't believe our club. Don't get me wrong. There is room for nice seats and getting something to eat and all that kind of thing. But I'm at the Seat Unique thing. I think we did it the other week where we found Seat Unique seats actually cheaper than tickets that were on sale on the resale, which just blew our minds. But I personally don't believe we can attract that fan, and yet we have loads of fans who want to go to the game. You know, something you were saying there. This is why I've always been a little bit thingy about the waiting list and how many are on the waiting list. Show me some proof of who's on the waiting list and how long they're there for. And because I know for a fact, you know, James is on the waiting list and he doesn't have a number. He doesn't know what number he is on the waiting list. No one knows what number. This thing of like, there's 20,000 fans and occasionally have some person will pop up and go, well, if you don't want to go, there's plenty on the waiting list. Prove it to me. Prove it to me that there's loads of these people on the waiting list. Because to me, that's just the thing that the club bring out to scare fans into not giving up season tickets and missing matches and all this. Prove to me there's thousands. Prove to me that if I give up my season ticket, that all these people, because guess what? We haven't sold out once. So there's definitely something wrong because we haven't sold out once at this ground. Now, yeah, you could blame the away fans for that if you want, but we haven't sold out once. So prove to me, once we start selling this ground out regularly.
I think we have sold out. I think Everton have sold out. Seat Unique probably haven't sold out.
Well, start selling this ground out regularly, and then we'll have a conversation about our season tickets going up. Because the demand isn't enough for our season tickets to go up if you're not selling out. So either throw another 1,000 season tickets or 2,000 season tickets into the hat next season so that people who want to go, James, Emma, whoever else who are sitting there waiting for those tickets to drop, they don't have to wait. They've got all their weekends sorted and they're going the game. Because that is fundamentally, that's what it comes back to, isn't it? Fundamentally, what it comes back to is supply and demand. And that's all it comes down to, isn't it? Manchester City will turn around to their fans and go, we have got, and Liverpool can do it. Liverpool, the ultimate example, because we've seen it with our own eyes for years and years. Going to the city last Saturday, I was down by our ground at like, what time was it? It was like 10:30. Well, I was in the ground at 10:30 because I was in the club shop at 10:30. And I went down the road, went to Pastille. What a bakery, by the way. what a bakery pass. You've got to go to Bastille. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And
where is it? Over the road from Costco?
It's over the road from Costco in that little industrial park. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
So, there's like Liverpool fans in there. Now they're kicking off at 8 o'clock. And there's Liverpool fans in there because they're already in town. They've already got into town. They've either been there on it, come overnight or whatever. You know, over Christmas when they had 2 games, it was full of Liverpool fans, overseas Liverpool fans who'd obviously come in for the 2 games because we were away for those 2 games. Now people had gone, we'll go to Liverpool because we've got 2 games, probably bought packages. Anyone who goes into the city centre on a match day will see thousands of foreign fans. Okay. Listen, I know we laugh and joke about it, but they absolutely love it. It is, because those people are coming in and they are buying stuff and they're going to match and it's like going to Disney for them. We don't have those fans. But Liverpool can turn around to any local fan and go, well, we've got these fans. Like, you know, if you want to go to a match, you'll have to start going like everyone else, like, which is going to the FA Cup games or going to the League Cup games or whatever it is, whatever way we can get you in, and then you start building it up like our away credits sort of thing. But I don't think we've got that. And until we have a sellout every single game, I'll sit here and I'll say the same things. Prove to me that that there are those fans out there who are going to take the season tickets off everyone, because as I said, this summer could be a reckoning for Everton. Loads of people are already like, I can't be bothered with this. I don't like the travel. And that, I know we're talking about a different thing, but it all plays into the bigger thing of like you said before, is like, you've got to be enjoying going the game, haven't you? You've got to just enjoy going the game. Isn't that the number one thing? Just I enjoy going the game. I enjoy the whole experience. That's why we love Saturday afternoons. The whole point of Saturday afternoon kickoffs was most people finished work at 12 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon and they went straight to match. That was the whole point of a 3 o'clock on a Saturday. You finished at 12 and you went to the game and you had a few bevies with your mates, and that was the whole point of going to a match. And somehow it's been turned into this thing of, well, it could be on a Monday at 8 o'clock, but we won't let you know for till 3 weeks before. And your working hours are mad now, so you might get about half an hour before and you'll have to throw your tea down you. And by the way, if you go in the game to get your tea's going to cost you 15 quid. And it's like, all these things are like, nah, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah. And then when it comes to, and then if you miss the game, someone says, yeah, well, actually, if you want to watch that game because you can't get there, it's £120 a month, because, you know, because it might be on that channel, and that channel. And then you wonder why people are buying Fire Sticks. And they wonder why. And their answer to people buying Fire Sticks is kicking in someone's front door to arrest them. Really? It's all backwards. Everything's backwards. I rest my case, Your Honour.
Phil Everton says I'd call £6.50 a donut selling out.
Mate, don't even get me started on donuts, mate. Don't even get me started. That is literally the thing, isn't it? That's the meme. That's literally the Jack Grealish meme.
Did you see they put out?
Go on.
The famous Everton donut.
Oh, because know why they're famous? Do you know why they're famous, Everton donuts? Because they cost £6.50. That's why they're famous. They're infamous. The infamous current, the famous. Yeah, it's fake. You're making a joke that you sell those donuts for £6.50. Jack Grealish is saying, buy loads of donuts I can sign. Like, they're literally laughing. They're literally laughing.
There's 2 things I want to discuss. One is Liam says, people pay £100 a month for some games from the TV channels. Why would the Premier League give you all the games for £10 a month? It goes to Monopoly. Deluded. What a deluded comment that is, Liam. Nonsense comment that is.
Liam's a bot.
Oh, okay.
I'm convinced of it.
159.
Look how many numbers he's got. Who choose a name with that many numbers?
Well, I'll just address it anyway, right?
Yes.
They get something like 2.3 billion over 3 seasons, Liam. So the £100 a month they're not getting, are they, as a Premier League? But if they sold it, I wouldn't sell it for £10 a month. I'd do 15 or 20, right? This has been done a million times. If they sold it at £15, £20 a month, even 10, they get 10 billion a season. So nearly more than 3 times, probably. Well, there is more than 3 times what they get now for 3 years, they get for 1 year. That's why they do it. Makes anyone, a child, would look at those numbers and go, yeah, do that thing, because that makes that much money. So there's your answer to that one. And there was another one.
Also,
I'm not having Gavin's one either at all.
Has anyone seen Gavin?
Says most fans know what style and starting 11 Moyes is going to play, especially after we fluked an away win. That's why people go home at 70 plus minutes. I don't buy into that either, because you went the match when Dykes was the manager, and he was the worst manager Everton have ever had for boring football. And you went the match when Benitez was the manager, and he was horrific.
Also,
so I don't buy that either, Gav.
Just on the TV deals,
you can't fluke away wins.
Just on the TV deals, when you've got, like, say, Sky, you can't just buy the footy.
No.
You have to buy it as a bigger package. So therefore, you're paying for something you don't actually want. So this is another thing where they need to look at it and go, it actually makes more sense if we're selling something to people that they want, which is just this thing. And that might become a thing soon. I know Sky are doing it from next month. I think it's next month. You're going to get certain other apps as part of the deal now with Sky, Disney Plus, HBO, and something else. So even those streaming sites are realising, and Sky are realising, that people can't afford to buy all these things. So it's like, if they do deals with those companies, you get them as part of it. So that's maybe where somewhere like the Premier League could do, is go, wait, we're going to have this thing that you can buy if you want it just on its own, but we'll let Sky use it as part of a package as well. Won't be like Sky's production or anything, but it might be part of a package. But that's the thing, isn't it? In other countries, you get to buy the Premier League on its own. It's a separate streaming channel that you get to pay X amount. In this country, we don't do that. You have to buy it as part of a larger package. So therefore, they can go, you get Premier League football, you get the Tour de France, you get the Olympics, you get this cricket, that cricket, whatever it is. That's Sky will go, you get the NFL, you get the golf, you get all this and all that. Whereas most people are like, I just want the footy, mate. I just want the footy. And they go, well, no, you can't have the footy. You need to have this as well. You need to have all these. You need to have all these. We've got, and they build us this huge package where you're like, I didn't want any of that, mate. I just want Premier League footy. So that's another reason why the price could come down.
And a lot of people can't be arsed watching other footy anyway.
No,
because Premier League football's horrific to watch. Let's be honest. Danny Church says, I work in a pub by Lime Street, and at 10 a.m. they were in the pub last Saturday. All but either Irish, German, or Norwegian.
Yeah, and do you know what? Fair play to them. There's no point. That's what drives the revenue of that football club. That's what absolutely drives the revenue. Liverpool have become one of the top commercial clubs in the world, because they know what to do. They're bringing out gear all the time. Now their fans just are like what the Arsenal fans were always talking about. But the Arsenal fans, I think, are, because London's obviously got 8 million people, and it's a different thing. But Liverpool have completely understood. Okay, they'd long driven the local fan out before John Henry came in. It's not on him. They'd long driven that fan out, but they've made it a place where, and Everton are in this middle bit of the ground where it's like they've still got mostly local or surrounding area fans, and we're happy to have fans from all over the world. But don't start catering to people who don't exist. I think that's where Everton have got to be very. We had this conversation yesterday, didn't we, about what makes on Premier, about how you become a big successful club away from winning trophies, and there's very little you can do, and we're not on the verge of winning trophies, and it feels like it's backwards at the moment. It's like they're asking for money to make us that, and it's like, hang on, you're billionaires. Villa fans,
they didn't.
But they've been, but the thing about it, they've bemoaned the prices, and I totally get it. And no one should be paying £90. But at least the owners could turn around and go, well, we're getting you Champions League, and PSR is driving us to this point where we have to charge the fan. And I get that to a point. It's crap, and that's why PSR and all that's crap. But at least they were in the Champions League. We're getting beat by Bournemouth 2-1 at home on a Tuesday night. You can't turn around to the fans and go, why wasn't this amazing? We're not stupid. Everton fans will just walk away. Dan
Dickinson says, Beyond Tunnel Club versus United, £539. The same ticket versus Liverpool is £1,999.
Yeah, I mean,
surely no one's paying that.
But they are, though, aren't they?
Some will.
Because that's, to me, I I'll be honest, I don't have too much of an issue with that, because I think if you can afford to pay £500 to do it, then you can pay £1,000. You can afford £1,000. I think what
That's £2,000.
But what I think what you're doing there is you're catering to people who actually don't get, like, you will always have, and we've always had it. You paid X amount to go on the Gladys Street, you paid a different amount to go on the park, and you had different facilities in the ground. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with, like, club view is a really good point, because club view for what they pay should be boss, and all of the things we get told is it's absolutely terrible.
It's getting
but it should be brilliant for the money. It should be better than what we get, because you're paying more money. So of course, if you getting like decent hospitality. Now, Tunnel Club is the best hospitality you can get, and I imagine the seats are amazing. And it's going to go up because it's the Merseyside derby, because that game will be sold out, of course it will. So I understand that, because that's the best of the best at the ground. You just don't want it. You can't have that for like a ticket by like wherever else where we sit, because that would be ridiculous.
Keith WP says, as a season ticket holder, I know, has not been to many matches this season. He works nights Monday to Friday. Will he renew? Says Neil Haight says, not often I strongly agree with Ped, but he's bang on. It feels like a second job supporting this team, constantly shuffling my diary and getting there's a pain in the arse. Blue Peter says, I go to every home game and away, but the last few months I'm getting really fed up with the home games, not enjoying them at all. It seems such a mission to get there. The football isn't great, VAR's crap, the standard of footy's crap, the kick-off times are crap, and it costs more and more. I live in Preston, missed kick-off versus Bournemouth, finished work at 6 p.m, got to the ground, parked up for 7, was at the wall entrance for 7:10, took over 20 minutes to get through the security gate. The match is more of a social event with my friends now to have a beer. It's just crap. Rant over.
I think as the older you get, it becomes more and more a social event. It's one of maybe only times you get to see your friends or your family, isn't it? You know, because of everyone's busy lives and that. And they are slowly eroding that as well, aren't they? They're slowly eroding the social part of it, because if, like you've just said there, if you're rushing to get into a game and you don't get there till with 10 minutes to kick off and you've got to get into your seat, they've eroded that as well. And I think that's what people forget about. Like, it's a sport, it's a game. Sports are generally social events to bring us all together. You know, I was seeing last night of, like, when we beat Birmingham 3-1. 2000, yeah, but it was nothing. It was a nothing game, wasn't it?
Terrible.
But it was like a nothing game. It was like a game. All right, we were going for Europe and stuff, but
cars.
The scene wasn't a free kick. It was just a shot.
Oh, the shot.
It was just unbelievable scenes.
Make it 3-1.
Yeah, Varney made it 3-0, 3-1. It was just unbelievable scenes, and it wasn't like a cup final, but it was just like, that's what I remember in the 2000s about Goodison. Why it was so good. Why I loved it.
It was, you know.
It was the 8, but it was the 8. But
when
the point,
but South Stand will be empty when we make.
But the point being is, it was like after that. I mean, be more of an age thing, but you know, everyone's out and everyone's enjoying themselves, and you're going to Winslow Disco and everything, and you're ending up on Matthew Street and all that kind of thing. And I'm sure, but the point being is, it was more just, you really enjoyed going the game, really enjoyed it, and I think that's the number one word: enjoying going the game. I think if you were to put a survey out and you should just say to people, do you enjoy going the game? It'd be very interesting to see what forget about the team. You can't control the team. You can't control how the team plays. You can't. I don't think you can pick and choose going the game on how good your football team is. That's not football. That's what we've bought into. Sometimes it'll be good. Sometimes it'll be bad. But it's that. Do you enjoy going the game? And I think for a lot of people at the moment, they just go, no, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. No. And until we get to that point where you do enjoy it, and that's based on actually going the game, not what happens for the 90 minutes.
That does contribute.
It does contribute.
If Everton were winning it,
of course,
we'd all be saying it's better.
Of course we would. Of course we would. But I just think...
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
I loved it. I used to love it. Used to Friday, I couldn't wait for the game. Now, it just seems like a bind.
Yeah.
So the just like, be arsed with this. And generally, because it's night games.
Yeah.
And you're parking and walking for miles in the dark, and it's generally raining, because that's all it does in this fucking city. Pisses down. It's freezing. And then you watch the football and Dwight McNeil's playing, or out of position on the right, or the centre back there, or you've got one striker, or even your good players have them days, and it all frustrates because you're not getting the results you want, you're not seeing it. It'd still be rubbish walking home getting drenched, but if you were walking home getting drenched, having beat Bournemouth 2-1, you'd be like, well, we won. It's great. What can we go for? And you're dreaming of April when it's a bit milder. You haven't got a coat and gloves and the hood up and all, you know what I mean? Because it is always going to be like that. Goodison under the lights was a thing. I never got it fully, but it was a thing because most games weren't. So it was an occasion. It was either a League Cup game, or it was one of those random midweek games that you get, or a European night. Now, it's Hill Dickinson in the sun. It's the fucking thing of Goodison under the lights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they've eroded that.
Someone just said there, God help us if, I think it was Zephyr, God help us if we get into Europe, because all the crying over, cry-arsing over kick-off times. Well, no, there wouldn't be, because we'd be playing on a Sunday. At 2 o'clock. I'd be quite happy with that. Thank you very much.
And we'd know, wouldn't we?
And no one, by the way, no one's, again, there's this thing of like, cry-arsing, or we pay a lot of money. There's this idea that we get all this for nothing, and we should be grateful with what we get. We pay a lot of money. There's absolutely no other industry. Like if I booked to go to pictures, and I booked it at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, and I'd booked a cinema, I booked a restaurant, something to eat, and then they ring me up and go, we're having to move it. It's now we're going to move it till Sunday at 12:15. You go, nah, you're all right, mate. I'll just go to the other cinema, mate. Like, it doesn't happen in any other industry where you pay loads of money to go to something, and then they go, switching the kick-off time, don't really care if any of yous are asked. And we've all just took it. Like, something has to give soon on everything, because people will stop. We've already seen last few weeks, empty grounds. The FA Cup, people going, well, no, because that's a separate ticket from my season ticket. I'm not going to go to that. It's starting to happen. It is starting to happen.
Thing with European games, mate, is they're scheduled, aren't they? Dead easy.
Yeah.
If you're in the Europa League or the conference, you're playing on a Thursday, we know.
Yeah.
And the kick-off times are there. They don't go a couple of weeks before, we're moving that one to 3 days in advance. It's another one and another one and another one. Is it? And I think people complaining is probably people who have been going forever and ever, amen. So they're entitled to. So I don't know whether you've been going forever or you haven't, or you want to go, or you attend 2 games a season. I don't know idea. You might go to every home and away game, and you might be bothered by the kick-off times. That's brilliant. But we're talking as a collective. We can all do an individual thing, can't we? I personally, I'd have Everton kicking off at 10 a.m. on a Saturday fucking morning, every game, so it's out the way. But I imagine I'm in a 0.001% of people who would want that. So you just go sound. But we were all brought up on Saturday, 3 o'clock. We've seen all sorts of stuff. And the game's changed dramatically from when we started falling in love with it and going. It's not the same game. It's been ruined by VAR and everything else. Do you know what I mean? So it's all a big thing. We accept bits and pieces from it. What we don't accept, what I think people are entitled to not be happy about, is when you're having to go. Every home game virtually is a night game on a Monday night, and it's freezing and pissing down. If Everton, if the thingy doesn't get moved, the Man City game, Liverpool will get moved, won't it? Let's be honest. Liverpool won't be 3 o'clock.
It'll be 12:30.
It'll be 12:30 probably on the Saturday. That suits that thing, right? The City game is the last opportunity that Everton have got for a 3 o'clock at Hill Dickinson on a Saturday. And the chances are that'll get moved. Man City are breathing down Arsenal's neck now, aren't they? There's a real chance that'll get moved. I don't know what time to, but say that gets moved, and there's a real chance. Everton will have had throughout this season three 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Saturday out of 19. That's it. Now, people have just put Villa haven't. Okay, that's terrible as well. That's scandalous as well. Villa are in the Champions League and things like that. That doesn't sort of excuse that, though. That's terrible. That's a problem. And this is what we're saying. So you might be made up that kickoff times are Monday nights and Tuesday nights and Sunday night and all brilliant. But I imagine you're in the minority there. So that's all we're doing. We're just trying to have a wider conversation about everything. Aren't we? That's all it is. We want Hill Dickinson to be absolutely bouncing. We want everyone to love going. Results will make a difference. A few people, I think Gavin mentioned it a couple of times, we have got to get better. The style has got to be better at home. We've got to win more at home. Yeah. Because otherwise fans won't be happy. You're absolutely right. I've said this yesterday, Gavin. At the end of the day, you are far more secure in your managerial seat if your home form is good. Yeah. Because the majority of fans are witnessing you winning at home. That's the first thing, isn't it? Winning is the first thing. We all want a better better product, if you like. The club will get to the summer and we'll have to make changes, and it's going to make changes in the stadium. I think it needs more blue for me. I keep saying it. The concrete in the bowl needs painting. Whoever does that, fucking give me blue paintbrush and I'll go and paint all the stupid bits that are sticking up and make it blue. Make it more feel like our ground. And also, a lot of people want stuff on the seats and things like that. I don't know if the club will do that. I'm not sure. To make it more Everton, I don't know.
They're waiting for one of the sponsors to pay for it.
Or maybe, right. But I want first and foremost, I want in the bowl, not necessarily talking about the concourses, but in the bowl, I want it blue. I don't want to see concrete everywhere. I want it to be a massive blue. That's what I want. It's the first thing they can do. Get some more Everton stuff up there. Put stuff, transfers on things if you need to. Skins, whatever it is. Make that. Sort the toilets out in places like the South Stand. Make it easier. Keep things open after the game for at least half an hour so that people can be staggered. Sort entering into the wall. Make that better. It's nonsense. You turn up and there's just people from everywhere.
I don't get this thing of going through metal detectors and when it turns red, you don't get searched. I don't get that.
Some do, some don't. So either have them, no issue if you're having them, have the stewards outside the wall organising lines then. So that you're not getting people coming in the sides and just getting in or pushing and not just have lines then. It's not good enough for me. This ain't good enough. There's dust everywhere. You lean against something in the thing, your coat's white. How's it not been sealed or whatever? So there is a lot to do. The club will be doing things, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, but there needs to be more done. But definitely for me, it's a whole thing, and football itself isn't helping, I don't think. I think it's making it more difficult to just love the game. VA. Right, watch the FA Cup on Saturday. Is the sound all right, James? Hello?
Yeah.
A few people saying no sound, but I was watching the Burton West Ham game Burton and West Ham game at the weekend. There's obviously no VAR, is there? And so a couple of times you go, with VAR, that might have been it. Luca Dean's tackle against Newcastle had been a red card with VAR, wouldn't it? Now you can argue, was it better or worse without this sort of thing?
It was worse. It was terrible.
But the Burton game was miles better without the VAR because the referee just made the decision and it just got on with it. The game wasn't stopped. It all flowed. Burton could have had the penalty. Lads shoved in the back with 2-1, but the game, you sort of, the ref mightn't have seen it, get on with it. It made the game sort of better. VAR needs to be looked at then. So for me, there's just a lot of things that can all be a bit better and it make all of our experience better.
I just don't think the club can bury its head in the sand now and just pretend that everything's all right and go, nah, this is fine, we're making money from the membership, so it doesn't really matter. It's like, got to learn the lessons from the first season at this ground. But as I said before, if we get 4 or 5, if we get not 4 or 5, but maybe we get three or 4 wins, going towards the end of
it'll
the season,
change, of
then
course it
people
will.
will feel happier going to match. It's going to get lighter outside, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's going to be lighter outside. The weather's going to be a little bit
Let's
nice.
have it right. The club have done generally a very good job of us moving stadiums, but it's far from perfect, and they need to do more.
I think they've done a real professional job in moving us from one ground.
It's a difficult thing,
Yeah.
isn't it? We've moved to a stadium that's bigger than the one we had. So, we're talking about bits that, for me anyway, are very, very achievable. Me saying I want them to put another 10,000 on the stadium, it's not achievable.
The thing about it
So
is,
that's
right?
a difficult thing.
No, but the thing about it is, right? I just think that people just enjoying and going the game is, yes, winning games of football, of course, helps. Having that feeling going a match. But going the game, what the club can do, obviously it's an ongoing process. And things have changed from the start of the season to where they are right now. Of course they have. Beginning of the season, it was horrendous. It was horrendous the first few games. It's all calmed down a little bit. But like you just said, there's loads of little things. As long as they realise that and work towards that.
I think they will.
Then
I think they will.
Then people have just got to enjoy going the game.
To make things easier. If people can't go, make it easy for them to transfer the tickets, things like that.
I think that would
just
be
easy wins.
That is an easy win. Knock this membership nonsense on the head. It doesn't really. Again, this thing of like, well, we make X amount of money of it. So what? So what? What you make one ticket is minuscule, really, isn't it? You make it minuscule because we've been talking about the money you make from TV and the money you make from sponsorship deals and the money you're going to make from other sporting occasions and eventually concerts and all this thing. Getting an extra £25 off people to get on membership shouldn't be here or there. It's absolute nonsense. Like, as we've said it loads of times, they got this right in Germany years ago. They were like, oh yeah, we sell season tickets for an extra £1,000. Look, it earns us buttons compared to the happiness of our fans and what then they bring to the game.
Spend as well.
And German fans actually getting together, because they will get together and protest and get stuff done. It's like, we don't need the alienation for like an extra for £1,000 a fan or whatever it was. It's like, we don't need it, and that's what Premier League teams should be looking at, is like going, we don't actually need that money, but they've got it all backwards.
Right, last few. Fletcher says, good afternoon, guys. Are the Blues ready to do the double over United this season? We've got to get the crowd bouncing in order for it to go big. Occasion at Hill Dickinson Stadium. Got to, Fletch. It's an opportunity. Could be a moment that pops. We Everton need it, let's be honest there. Blue Peter says, hope Dewsbury all plays deeper and it's a flat 3. He gets caught in no man's land at 10. I fancy a Tierno Barry goal on Monday. Daniel Church says, we need to go at United from kickoff and get us fans behind the team, make it loud. My team would be Patterson, Tarkovsky, Brantwaite, Michalenko, Garner, Armstrong, Dewsbury, George and Jai Barry. Plus, we will have a strong bench. Yeah, but I'm getting sick of Monday night football.
Yeah.
TC Lid says, gotta have a midfield 3 of Dewsbury, Harrison Armstrong and James Garner. Start Patter with right back for balance and see how the team does for that one. Definitely, I mean, listen, it'll all be about balance on Monday. United will do what they do. We've got to do what we do, but it's got to be balanced, a balanced team like that. We haven't got Jake O'Brien, so there's no temptation to play him at right back on Monday. So it's got to be Patterson in there, unless he does go James Garner, but get 3 midfielders in there working hard, not a 4-2-3-1. Let's try and get people around Tierno Barry and see where we go. Where am I? Jason says we need to kick back against these weekday games. I can't be the only one that wants to give the club my money, but can't, as I can't afford 2 days off work to travel and stay over. So I'm stuck with giving TV companies my cash, so at least I can watch us. And Luke Murphy says, are the varying kick-off times something the Fab can speak to official fan clubs, then write a formal letter to the Premier League, or an open letter to clubs? Getting fed up going every home game and it being midweek and taking over 2 hours to get home. Like you lads have said, it's always being a social occasion going a game, and that's being taken away from match-going fans. Like, really, I mean, they're taking a lot of things away from us, aren't they? That just seems to be the next one. El Tel says the Hill Dickinson sign should have Everton on top of that sign so the world can see it, especially the ships on the Mersey.
Yeah, but Hill Dickinson didn't pay £10 million for that, did he?
Should it have Everton somewhere, though, as well? That's visible.
It's a very American thing, isn't it? If you look at all American stadiums, they look very much like our stadium with Hill Dickinson on them. I mean, they do have crest. It has got the crest on it. Let's get that right.
Yeah.
I think there should be something above the Everton store that maybe could be, I don't know what the weight things are with that, but maybe something above it. I mean, it has got the crest on it. It's that thing, isn't it? It's of like, you want the club to act professional, and they've got the naming rights and they're earning up to £10 million. Who knows what the exact figure is? And you've given them, prime location. You give them 3 things on it. It's called Hill Dickinson Stadium. This is Tottenham, called theirs the Tottenham's Hotspur Stadium. They get their brand recognition from that for the NFL. So you want that money. And would people kick off if it wasn't sponsored and we didn't get the money? And then they go, oh, this club gets run like a corner shop. So I have a legitimate understanding of why that happens. I think we were talking about this yesterday. So one thing I would do right now, and this is not on the stadium, but I would get outside. I would go and get someone, the guy who does all the murals, and as you walk into the ground on both ways, I would get any spare wall, obviously not the dock wall. I would get any spare wall and I'd get them all painted with Everton murals. I'd get them all done. There's a wall just, if you're coming from Costco way, there's a wall on the right just before you get to the Brandy Mall pub, and it's already got loads of graffiti on it. So why don't they speak to the people who own that wall, because it's covered in graffiti, and go, right, we're putting an Everton stuff on this wall, and start anywhere you can make that area feel like an Everton area. Start making the area feel like an Everton. So anyone who comes from one way or another, as they're coming to it straight away, they're like, we're getting towards the Everton ground.
But I can't remember, but they still have, going up Walton Lane, they still have all the L4 Everton flags all the way up.
Everton women.
I know, but they still, what I'm saying is they had them there for us last year, and I've had them there for a few years.
We've got them as well.
Have we got? Yeah. I can't. So I'm saying I can't. When I'm walking down,
they're always on. If you look at the vlog, you always see them on the vlog.
Yeah.
Gonna
say,
of course. Of course. There's a lot of places around there which you can't touch. Obviously, there's a lot of old buildings and the wall itself. But on the other side, I'd get all murals. I think that's one thing that Everton could do right now, which is an easy win, is start making that area look like Everton. The stadium itself, I think the plaza, maybe they could work a little bit harder to get stuff going. Statues could be the first thing they could do. A couple of statues. And just, I think there's like little wins. Like I went down there on Saturday and I know there's a cafe next door, but if you didn't know there was a cafe next door, you wouldn't know there was a cafe next door to the shop. Like there's genuinely you wouldn't know.
It's not even a cafe though, is it? It's a lounge, isn't it, that they use
as a cafe.
Yeah. So they need to get that.
There's things like that I think on the plaza they could do more with. You could do more with to make it someone said there that Les had said on the Blue Room that feels like somewhere that Everton are just renting and they're a tenant, and I get that as well. But I also understand why it was built in a way to look like it was like it's part of the surrounding area. So it has its own charm, of course it does. And again, that's the thing, we haven't quite bought in to the charm yet. Goodison for many years, let's not forget, had no real thing other than the old badge. It didn't have.
There was no skin
on. Didn't have any skins on it. Didn't have the time. It didn't have the timeline on it. It didn't have. It had the things that made it Everton, which was above the turnstiles, the things that we now, that what gate it was, things that become very Everton just because they're there over so many years. But it wasn't until like, if you looked at the 90s, there was an Everton badge on the side of the main stand and nothing else.
You had the picture of Roberto Martinez.
They did in the end, yeah. But before that, they had the old badge. You know, and then on the Park end for many years there wasn't in there. Then they put the People's Club skin on it, and there was nothing there. There was not you knew, it looks like a football ground, so therefore, and it's got like signs saying Everton and stuff. It's one of those things. It's very difficult because you want it to look in keeping with the area, and you don't want it to be like garish. But then on the flip side, it's got Hill Dickinson written on 3 sides of it. So and it's got loads of lights. The lights change colour and stuff like that. So
that does look incredible.
That is like a really good question, because I don't know how you do that, but certainly I'd get. Is it Paul Curtis? There's Paul Curtis who does loads of them, and there's another fellow who does loads of them. I would commission them, and I'd find as many places as possible down there where there's brickwork, there's just bare walls, and I'd start creating. Maybe start, if you could start. I don't know where you could do this. Start creating an Everton story, a timeline on the walls. But I don't know whether there's enough walls to do that. That's the only problem. But I'd definitely start putting some big Everton moments on the walls, so that people go down and they want to get pictures with them, and that all feels part of the area. Because if you go to like Anfield, you can walk around Anfield and all the different streets, and all the streets have got artwork that people want to get pictures with, and there's some around the city and stuff like that. But
you've got to do it.
But you've got to do that kind of thing. I don't know if Everton have tried hard enough yet to assimilate themselves into the surrounding area.
We were told it was going to be almost we called it a blue village, didn't we? But we were told that was the plans. Colin Young talked about it. Officially, Everton wants to buy Nelson Dock. Everton wants to buy other property there and do it. Get it done. Start doing, spend some money and do it. You're billionaires. Your finger out. Have a go. Elliot Walker says, hello lads, I'm scared for the United game as it's at home and a night game too. United look rejuvenated under Carrick, and I truly believe they'll give us a good game. But they will give us a good game because they're a good side, but they're not unbeatable, far from it. West Ham almost beat them the other night. West Ham have been terrible, so it's up to us. The problem Everton have had at home recently is they've just given really bad goals away. Go and look at name me one good goal and the away team scored for a while, like a really good goal. Because it seems every goal we've conceded lately has been as bad a goal as you'll see. The 2 Bournemouth goals were horrific. Terrible. The Wolves goal was dreadful. Leeds was dreadful. Us getting caught. You know, Arsenal was a penalty. Brentford, you couldn't wish for 4 worse goals if you tried. You know, we haven't made it difficult for teams to play through us and create a really good goal. We haven't at all. It's been really bad. Even like Walter mate's goal, his goal was brilliant the way he finished it, but it was still Irabunum making a mistake. He didn't half finish it well, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But we haven't made teams have to work for the goal at home. We just seem to give easy goals. Even like the Sunderland goal in the FA Cup was a long throw and the lad just side-footed it in because Roll couldn't get his header right. You know, and that's been an issue. So we have to sort of make sure we're tight against United. Clear the ball properly. You know, don't target it. Don't try and pass out when it's not on. Smash it away and reset. Keep it tight so that United aren't in control all the time. And then spring them. They're not great at the back. Spring them when the chance comes along. Put the ball in the net. We're quite good at it away. You have to start being the same at home. Right, just finally, the sponsor, because a few people have sort of mentioned it now. It's Redden who the shirt sponsor will be, says Emma next season. Who gives a crap bog roll? No one else.
It's Redden, why would Emma grow up a child?
Who do you think, though?
I don't know, be some kind of... I mean, we've literally got the worst sponsor in the world right now, haven't we?
I don't know whether it's the worst in the world, but it's not great.
Don't know. It'll be a bank or something, won't it? Be a bank or
Toyota.
Well, Toyota, yeah, might be Toyota, and then they go to Japan pre-season to like rubber stamp it. Yeah. But
possibly
it'll be. It won't. Obviously, it can't be a betting company, can it? So it'll be something. It'll be like what are the ones in. It'll be very interesting actually, because a lot of clubs all at once need to get new sponsors.
Yeah.
And that's That's where Everton will.
Karen Brady was moaning on whatever, but she was moaning about it the other day because 13 Premier League clubs have got betting sponsors. And it was like, well, the reason why they have is the disparity between every other sponsor and what betting companies pay. You know, so she's kicking off.
Yeah, but she's a tramp, so I don't really care.
Oh, she's a tramp.
She's
a very rich one if she is.
Well,
but for them clubs, but then you've got like Liverpool, standard chartered Liverpool aren't exactly white, are they?
No, there's no one
So
white, but at the end of the day, this is the decision that's being made. It's a decision that was made years ago about tobacco. It'll be something that'll be made about alcohol as well. It's up to football clubs to find different ways, and there'll be different markets. Might be AI. Might be an AI sponsor, but you don't know, do you? That's a massive a massive new sector, isn't it? Where and they're all competing for our attention. So it could be AI. It could be a bank. No one saw Hill Dickinson coming, did they? No one saw Hill Dickinson. Everyone was like, it's going to be Qatar Airlines. It's going to be Pepsi. It's going to be your nan.
Could be Qatar Airlines.
It could be a Japanese company to go along with Toyota. It could be another one, a Freakin's company, because they might look at it and go, well, actually, there is no good deal to be done right now because 13 teams are all trying to do the same thing. And that's where it'll be the big thing of like, where we have beat off 30. Though someone will say, we have beaten 13 teams off to this sponsor to get Greg's.
Someone put Bing's chippy. Danny Ellis, Bing.
Greg's.
Bing, what a G Bing was.
What would you say if it was Greg's?
I'd be fuming.
And they put a Greg's in the stadium, and they were like, it was normal Greg prices.
I'd be fuming.
Would you?
Greg's.
But what if Greg's paid the same money that Qatari Airlines were paying? And you had a Greg's in the
Fair play. I'm not exactly a steak fan, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Steak bake?
Steak steak.
Hey, that's the joke they could play. They could have it steak bake. What a laugh that would be. Everyone would be...
James Graham said OnlyFans, no one else. What's wrong with that?
Costco.
OnlyFans. Costco.
Protein. Just protein. Costco.
Be a belter.
BYD. If we all get a discount, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, and it'd be quite nice.
Make decent cars.
It'd be quite nice.
What is the worst sponsor we could have in your eyes?
Durex.
Safe pair of hands.
There is, you're putting them on your hands. There's a slight issue.
Some people might.
Yeah.
Fuel.
Lead.
Lead.
Let the lead.
Every drink you buy in there is just fuel.
Home and bargain. Dude wipes. No,
home bargains.
Let's move away from
They've got the money.
The hot walkie.
If he's got the money, he says he has.
He's just built a lovely house on Walton Road.
Fair play. Fella's done well for himself.
Fisherman's friends.
Is that going back to Durex?
I think so.
Pound stretcher. No, pound stretcher are going bust. They're going bust.
The Liverpool Echo. Well, these are the worst you could have, aren't they? Orange Club.
JD Sports. Someone in here be made up with JD Sports, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Hey.
He'd
be absolutely made up, wouldn't you?
He's Caterpillar and
10% discount.
Just JD.
I'm surprised you're not in the JD gym round here because you get 10% off JD Sports. Don't know. No, they don't. I don't think they do. A sleeve sponsor's different though. Anyone can have a sleeve sponsor. You could probably get a sleeve sponsor. The barber you go to get your beard cut probably is a beard sponsor.
JD sponsor Wolves.
Yeah, it's arm sponsor.
There you go.
Dr. Pepper. What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly. Well, we've got the logo ready, the catchphrase ready.
As long as it's not Tesla, then I can live with that.
Labour Party.
I only want I can't. Yeah.
I'd have Tesla.
I want.
If they pay like 30 million a season. There you go.
You'd want to like put a chip in your brain or something.
We've probably already done it.
Right. What without you? Well, that's what some people think happened 5 years ago anyway.
There you go. That and Wi-Fi. Right. Take it easy. Everybody, if you're a Premier member, we'll see you a bit later. Thanks for watching. See you after. Bye.